All right, welcome everyone to After the Salt Settles. This is strictly an SHL stream for tonight, recap for tonight, given that with what we do here, we only go for the regular season. However, we'll be covering the playoffs for SHL since we are the only show that covers SHL. So this week, we'll be covering SHL Week 7, the final week of the regular season.
Welcome one and all to this most glorious and festive hall.
Oh, there you go. Look at this guy. He's reading his script, practicing for his play that he has to do.
Oh, yeah. Great. So excited.
So yeah, tonight, like I said, we're going to be cutting the THL stuff, but we have one new thing with the Eridan massive data dump, as he likes to call it, the massive dump that he took on spreadsheets with some information very similar to what Rhino gave to us last week. But we can move forward with this week. Salt, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Enjoying my off season in the in SHL.
Oh yeah, that starts for you, man.
Yeah.
F. Wasn't expecting that.
No.
Well, at least you have a good still on season in THL.
At least for a few more days, yeah, man.
Yeah. Lemur, good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be here.
What's new? What's new with you?
Well, let me tell you what's new with me, Nate. I have been signed on by my school to play the lead in the musical. We're doing Guys and Dolls, so I'm Sky Masterson. And that is big because the musical is 7 days away because the person who was playing the lead got in trouble for drugs and alcohol. So
is that what you're supposed to
do?
Means,
yeah, exactly right. So that means that I'm supposed to be the lead now. So I'm going to be exhausted for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be great.
Oh wow, well,
fun
good
experience.
Fortunately for you, you don't have any other obligations to invest time in.
Yeah, because I'm out of THL. It's fine.
No.
It's fine, not salty.
Right.
I might believe that. So, yeah, no, I'm sharing that salt with you, man. Sharing that salt. Speaking of salt, why don't we get through things? Why don't you take us through the week that was for SHL, Salt?
Sure, no problem. Had a lot of exciting matches, of course, again this week. The Silent Storms took on Kawasaki Ninja's Rule, and Explosive Sheep took on Zenergy Gaming. The Old Gods squad faced off against Defias Henchmen, and Piss took on Enthalpy. Everything was decided last week as far as playoffs went. Silent Storms managed to get 5 points against the Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. It wasn't enough. They lost 9-5, putting us out of the playoffs. And Explosive Sheep made a pretty big statement going into the playoffs. They won 12-4, winning all of their matches. 2 of them were close, but, picked up that, the full 12 points. So that's really good for them going, it's really good for them. The Old God squad managed to pick up 3 points against the Defias Henchmen, who all 3 of their matches went 3-1. They picked up the full 12. Odefen did manage to get the match scheduled, get it played. So awesome, got it in there. And then Pocahontas in Space, they went against Enthalpy and they won 9-8. Really close, but it wasn't quite enough for them. So,
Rip.
Yeah, but hey, it's still a good series to close out the season for them. Mange did drop one to the Anarchist, 1-3, which is
he did.
Kind of surprising.
Let's go, Anarchist.
Huge PR difference. I mean,
Oh yeah.
111. So that's quite a bit. So good for the Anarchist.
Anarchist.
Yeah, man. 3-0, I think, on the season.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, which is really good.
Good
so
for
that,
him.
Yeah, that is your week in review for the league. No real surprises, I don't think, for me. we didn't play our best going down the stretch. It kind of showed. So, we didn't pull it out. Against Kawasaki Ninjas. They played well.
Kawasaki Ninjas always play well. That shouldn't be a surprise by now.
Yeah, this is true. Look
at these bands.
Yes.
Bands are interesting.
It looks right.
For the first time.
Yeah.
There were two people who decided to be out of the ordinary, and that was O'Deffin being out of the Hearthstone meta because of not submitting his classes multiple weeks. He banned Hunter against Hockey Boy, and we saw Vegan Zombie go ahead with the Warrior ban against Red Marsh.
Well, it was the other way around. Red Marsh banned Vegan's Warrior.
Sorry.
Yeah. But look, there's a reason why they didn't ban Shaman is because neither player brought Shaman.
Yes.
Which is surprising in and of itself.
Yeah.
They did have a 50% win rate, though. I mean, one of them, Vegan Zombie won with Priest because it's better than Shaman, apparently. He did win. So, right. So Priest picking up yet. Let's see. Priest won 3 out of the 4 series that it was brought to. Not that the Priest made an appearance in any of them, but
hey,
it was so
Priest
scary.
Priest is in a good spot right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. It was so scary that they won the majority of their matches. So awesome.
Yeah. We'll get to more about Priest later on when we talk about the future. Oof, man, this beer is getting to me. Okay.
Airdan pointed out actually, Vegan Zombie did not bring Shaman the entire season, so he is the Brunson of SHL.
Yeah, that's the one and only. Maybe his name should have just been Sneaky Brunson. Maybe that's really him. But yeah,
maybe it is.
I'm excited to show you guys what Aridin put together, where we could take a look at those things like who brought what, who didn't bring what, the success rates of X, Y, and Z. So we'll get to that to the end. But this was the last week.
Yeah, man.
And we're in the playoffs now, which means we could take a look at the final standings.
Yes.
If we don't mind.
Yeah, you know what? We can take a look at the final standings, Nate. And let me tell you, the final standings are quite interesting.
Yes.
We're gonna look at those league standings. On the bottom, Old God Squad.
Oh man.
They pulled out 23 points this season.
Salt, you predicted a win for them this week.
You did. Why'd you do that, Salt? Why would you do that to yourself?
They tried real hard, man.
I think they scored points this week that was like similar to what they scored all season.
Well,
Owen submitted his classes. Coincidence? Actually not. Moving on, we got. Oh, I think Salt should introduce this one. Number 7.
I mean, we're 57 points. I mean, thank God for the old gods. Otherwise, we would have been dead last. You know what I'm saying?
Silent Storms, who were on top of the power ranking for the longest time this SHL season, have been put where they finally deserve at number 7.
I think.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Oops, I'm sorry.
That's we finished where we finished, man. 50%, less than 50% win rate. You're not going to go anywhere like that. So, yeah.
I think you guys wanted to live the same story that the real Silent Storm did. Show us that you're a real contender, and then lose to the league. Like, you wanted to create that same narrative.
It's only fitting.
Moving on to number 5.
Did we skip? Did we skip?
No, we didn't skip anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Salt. We didn't skip anything at all. Moving on to number 5.
Trickling down to 6.
Right past Pocahontas in space at 6.
Oh, man.
Let's real fast say that Pocahontas in space and Silent Storms were the 2 most predicted teams to be at the top.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, and they are both very near the bottom. Kappa.
Last hero standing's tough, man.
No Kappa.
No
No
cap.
cap.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was gonna predict this, but it happened. Pocahontas in space, unfortunately, in 6th place during week 7 with only a 0.52% win rate. Mage dropped a unfortunate loss to the Anarchist, and it cost them a playoff spot.
Yep.
Number 5, we got Synergy Gaming, which, as Dexter HS will tell you, is returning for the next season of SHL.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah. And they are in 5th place with 69 points.
By 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point out of 70 that
Just rooting for them.
and Kawasaki Ninjas rule.
Feels
hold down.
Feels Noob Central, man.
Oh man, I don't even want to talk about it. Really don't want to talk about it.
Well,
they're the noobs of SHL.
Yeah, I guess
we don't have to talk about Noob Central. All we got to talk about is the number 4 spot, Enthalpy.
Yes.
Putting in that good SHL season like was predicted at the beginning. They had a nice little squad over there, and it shows as they made playoffs. In at number 3, my favorite team in the league, now that it's eliminated, Kawasaki Ninjas rule, also at 70 points, but they have a slightly higher win percentage than Enthalpy at a 0.53 to a 0.529 from Enthalpy. So very close there, too.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2nd spot, we've got the one, the only, Nade.
Defias Henchman.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah, Defias Henchman, 73 points, 2nd in the league currently. And they are only behind Explosive Sheep, which, as you said, had a very solid week this last week, winning 12-4. I just think this whole thing is so different from what we all predicted at the beginning of the season that in itself is worth a conversation. Like, I don't think this is anywhere close to what we thought it would be.
I agree.
Yeah.
Man.
Because, like, go for it, Nate. Sorry.
But when I'm looking at the top, it looks like the 1s and the 3s were carrying it. Like,
yep.
Well, I mean, mind you, Explosive Sheep had the strongest 2 seed in the league.
Yeah.
But it looked like so much is riding on these 1s and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
And because the PR system is different than THL, that adds some discrepancy in skill level a lot of the time too, because it hasn't had the time to balance out like the THL PR has.
Yep.
So definitely interesting to look at. Other than that, I'm just excited for next round of playoffs. Finals are going to line up with THL finals, so you'll get all the SHL and THL final content in the same week, which is obviously for your viewing pleasure.
Yep.
It's going to be quite good.
Next week already.
Next week already.
Next week. Damn.
Hopefully I'll still be busy.
Yeah.
Doing something.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Me too.
Cool. Well, thanks, Lemur. We could take a look now at the power rankings. They're gonna come out. It's not gonna look too different from the standings, but Lemur, you've been following these teams tightly. I'm sure you can say a little bit about their storylines over the course of the season.
Of course I can. Like I said before. All right. First off, there is a misspelling on this power ranking. It says Pocahontas.
That's probably right.
Correctly.
That's probably right. We did that on purpose. You can't have 100%.
100% accuracy.
Yes.
Anyway, it looks the exact same as the standings. There's no discrepancy there. Number 1's Explosive Sheep, 2 Defias Henchman, 3 Kawasaki Ninjas Rule, 4 Enthalpy, 5 Synergy Gaming, who, by the way, moved down 3 spots this week, which is very important to note. They dropped quite a bit compared to the other teams. Pocahontas in Space is number 6. Number 7 is Silent Storms, and number 8 is Old God Squad. If we're talking about like storylines and stuff that happened with that, one of the bigger storylines I think of the season was the Old God Squad just not being able to pull it together, which was a story that was pretty like obvious from pretty early on in the season. Like it's kind of like the thing that Synergy had over in THL, where
Yeah.
they're just marred by DQs, and as such, they're not going to do as well. And they went 0-7 this season, so I think that makes sense. If you're going to do that, then it's probably what's going to happen to you, unfortunately. I think the big storyline, like I said, was Pocahontas and Space and Silent Storms. Both those teams were projected to do very well. Both those teams were doing very well, and then they just weren't anymore.
Yes.
Which is one of the advantages and disadvantages of a small league like this with only 8 teams, is that 1 week changes everything. Like, if you lose 1 week and another team wins big, you're out of whatever spot you were in. It's very swingy. And I think we saw that a lot this season with Pocahontas in Space and Silent Storms. And both of them failed to make playoffs, which is way, way behind what we originally thought. We thought both those teams were shooing to probably make finals.
Yep.
So that's a very interesting storyline to me. Also interesting storyline is Synergy Gaming dropping down 1 point away from making playoffs. Dang, 1 point. And they actually, Pocahontas in Space and Synergy both had a better record than Enthalpy. Enthalpy went 3-4 on the season, while Synergy and Pocahontas went 4-3. But Enthalpy had more points, which is why they qualified for playoffs.
They lose like champs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just as important. You have to keep your losses close, and you have to make your wins big.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I find most interesting and actually that I'm most excited at looking at this end result. When we take a look at the old squad, this comes from a captain who has THL experience, right? When we take a look at Silent Storms, same thing. With some players, some THL vets. Pocahontas in Space, same thing. Synergy, Enthalpy, same thing. But these top 3 teams, entirely, no THL. These guys came out of nowhere, right? Like Kawasaki Ninjas Rule, Defias Henchman, Explosive Sheep.
Explosive Sheep has THL experience.
Who's on there with the? Oh, that's
Explosive Sheep.
Yeah, but they have Direst Bear is probably their most experienced one with.
Yep, he was in
doing SPL. Vegan Zombie and Bit Beaker though, I don't recall them in THL last season. Maybe Bit Beaker did it.
Vegan Zombie was not. I'm fairly certain Bit Beaker might have been.
But I would say
at least once. Yeah.
I would say these top 3 teams are the most rookie to the league, and outperformed. Our THL and SPL vets over here. So to me, I love that for whatever reason. It's cool to see new people come in and come out on top, because it shows, anybody who's interested about joining, you can come in SHL or THL with no experience and, end up on top, So
yeah, you can. It's true. It just takes a lot of hard work and dedication, which these 3 teams obviously put in.
Of course.
Explosive Sheep was 6-1 on the season. That's so good.
Yeah.
Like, that's so good.
They have 2 more wins than the team beneath them, and that's 6 points total, and they're 6 points above that team, It's like just evens out right there with those points, so those wins are everything. 6-1 is awesome.
Their wins were a lot closer than everybody else's. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely were.
Yeah, 79 points, but the team behind them was 73 points at 4-3. So they carried their losses, pretty good. The Henchmen did, and Kawasaki Ninjas Rule as well.
Yeah. Bit Beaker clarified, by the way, he subbed for THL while playing SHL.
Gotcha. Right. So, well, hey, props, Explosive, Defias, Kawasaki Ninjas. And Enthalpy, you guys are moving through the playoffs. Synergy Gaming, I was rooting for you. You guys just made it. I mean, you proved you're strong enough.
Close.
You're strong enough. If you're 1 point away, you're strong enough. So glad to see you guys coming back. Pissed.
It feels
having
bad.
A much more successful season over here than in THL.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. They were in first place last week. They weren't first in the power rankings due probably to some sort of win rate, but they had 65 points last week, and Explosive Sheep only has 64, so they went from first to fifth.
Oh, so then they dropped 4 points.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy to see that type of fall. And the week that matters most. Damn
Yep.
it. But all right, I'm moving my camera all over the place. But yeah, piss, silent storms.
No.
Mm.
You know, I don't. There's no advice to you guys. Just come back and do it again. You guys know what you're doing. It just didn't work out. Old God Squad, you got to get your shit together. But piss, silent storm, synergy. Hope you guys come back.
Of course.
Cool.
They'll be back. They'll be back.
So how was
If they had
y'all?
this successful of a season.
How was y'all
Yeah.
experience with SHL?
I enjoyed it a lot. Like, to be completely honest with you, I loved it. It was just a fun experience to be a part of and to be a part of the board for it and to see like what it did to the players that were involved with it. That was just a really cool experience for me.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest part for me is the people that aren't involved in THL. You know, and how they're pretty hyped, for this league, and that's great. And we definitely show them love here, and that they like that, and it makes you feel good.
Sweet. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. And
I
like
did. I enjoyed playing.
like everyone
Excuse
has
me,
said.
Nate. I didn't have a good time. I had a great time.
I'm so glad you had a great
Come
time.
on.
And like everyone has said, you guys have done a great job. Let's take a look at one of our last things that we have. Final numbers are in for
Yes.
the top dogs. I'll start us off. We have our 3 seeds here. Murloc Pie, who was bouncing back between the 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
ended in 3rd. Pretty good PR compared to the rest of the 3 seeds, which is pretty competitive here, between 322 and 190. He had a 58% win rate, which is a big jump, from the players beneath him, but held it down for his playoff team. Lost to Bitbeaker in the final week.
Let's go Bitbeaker.
Yeah. However, this says week 6. Is this the wrong one? Let's see.
Is it the wrong one? What did you do?
Let's
No,
see.
I think you just got
I fixed it. Oh god.
There you go.
Rewind. Feels about right. Okay. Dexter Hearthstone is in 3rd.
Dexter had a good season in SHL.
He really did. Got swept by Bitbeaker last week.
Yep.
Oh man, props to you, Bit. I know. Which one of you dingbats should I tag? Oh god, they're already giving us shit. Dexter comes in 3rd. I don't think any of us are surprised. There were 58 win rate is very typical of him, and he hasn't even played. Oh no, he did do all 7 weeks. Dexter, you rock. I'm glad you're coming back. Murloc Pie, 2nd place. Yeah, we're happy to see him up here. We've been following pretty closely all season, and like I mentioned, he's been bouncing up between the 1 and 2 all season. So he's held his place pretty strongly, ending with 61%. 3-1 our boy Jerry Damage, who just is struggling to catch a break.
THL, SHL, they're pounding.
I know.
It's fine.
Thankfully, he does great things behind the scenes that make up so much for what he does on scene. I can't make that sound good. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna
I can't make it sound good. No.
And whatever. And in the number 1 spot, our boy Ayo, who 3-1 Eamon Wolf, ending with 24 points on the season, tied with D Lyman for most points on the season, in the season, of the season, for the season, something else season.
Ayo's a stud.
66%.
He did so well this season.
Yep.
19 and 10. Wow.
Beautifully done. Great job. Props to him, man. And the henchmen are going to the playoffs as well.
Yep.
So we'll see more of them.
For sure. Are we moving on to 2 seeds? I think we're gonna move on to 2 seeds.
We can.
Sounds good.
And as I usually do, we're going to go from the bottom up because I'm lazy and like reading up. In last place, we got 0-7 Defen.
Seven Defen.
Does that rhyme?
Yes.
Yeah, 0-7 Defen. Next up on our list, we got our boy Mange coming in at a 44% win rate. In the next spot, we got Red Marsh. Going on, we have Clobber. And then in fourth place, we have Hockey Boys. Had a pretty good season. Struggled a little bit, but pretty good. As you guys said, the 1 and 3 are the very, very competitive seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd say the 2 seed could use a little bit of work, but it was still very competitive.
Yeah.
The Anarchist comes in third place with a 12-12, exactly 50% season. And then Eridan is in second with a 52% win rate. Let's go, Eridan. Brought you to the league.
Yay, Eridan.
High-five me. And then we got my boy, Vegan Zombie, literally the best person to ever walk into THL, repping it up.
Who is this guy?
Vegan Zombie? I don't know. I've never talked to him in my life. I just know he's my favorite person.
It's Brunson confirmed. He never brought Shaman.
It's true. It's true. It might just be Brunson. But I give props to him. He was the best 2 seed this season, going 17 and 15.
If you're in chat and you know who Vegan Zombie is, get him to come out of his little shell and make his name known.
Hey,
other than
public announcement. Fuck Jerry Damage. He said in chat, I lemurred this season. That's right. Lemur is a verb. All right, I'm good. I just had to vent for a little bit. I'm fine.
Oh God.
No. All right, Saul, why don't you take us down the home stretch?
All right, man. Coming in last is Force of Will. He finished 0-5 on the season. In seventh, we have Samu. 3-2, not too bad for Zenergy. No. I am sixth, 4-3 record on the season. Number 5 is Delcaver, 4-3. He lost to me last week, 1-3 to finish the season. He had 55% win rate. Very good opponent. So, in fourth, we have Joe Hearthstone. In third, the one and only G-Nets, who beat D Lyman 3-2. So very good. And second, we have Dyrus Bear, 62% win percentage on the season, and 5-2. Very good. And in first place, barely holding on after that loss, is D Lyman, 5-2 with a 63% win rate on the season. So 1% for first place. If G-Nets would have won 3-1, Dyrus Bear would have been the winner.
Wow.
Or if Dyrus Bear would have beat Samu 3-1. So yeah. But 2 good matches, 2 3-2s to finish the season. So
yeah, D Lyman did great this season.
Very good. D
Lyman is a fabulous Hearthstone player.
60+% win percentage. You can't beat that.
Even if he still doesn't know what the cards are. But
right.
Shouldn't matter that much, right? You just have to play your cards and beat them.
Right. Yeah, it don't matter what they have. So yeah, I mean everybody on here, but one player above 50% for the season.
That's crazy. There had to be.
That is crazy. How does that happen?
Not
right.
Not really.
Like, how does that happen?
Some shifting around of seeds.
Yeah, it was the first season. Everybody's on double PR, right? I mean.
Yeah.
So what this basically is the 1 seeds are just the people that did good enough to, rise up out of their 2, and that might be why the 2 seeds look like they do.
Right.
Because that's probably a portion of 1 seeds that fell.
Get beat up in the 1 seed, drop down.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, a little, not quite,
Tay Ziki in chat said he moved up to first seed and had to play D Lyman. I don't know who you are. in SHL. Let
Yeah,
us know what your
let
game
us
is.
know what your username is in
Oh
SHL.
man, we're just hoping it's vegan
I
zombie.
feel like this is vegan
I
zombie.
feel it's gonna be him.
Oh,
if
please be vegan
it's
zombie.
if you don't write vegan zombie, know that it's a misplay. Um. So yeah, I mean,
But
club.
that's your one seeds. Surprises. Samu, I mean, 63% on the season. I mean, he didn't play a full season, but while he was here,
He's hockey
Hockey
boys.
boys, that's your boy.
should have just said vegan zombie.
I
He misplayed.
know.
He misplayed.
We'd have rode with it.
Oh yeah,
At least he knows he misplayed.
it's true. He admits it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that would be my surprise. Samu obviously had a pretty good season, 63% on a 3-2. So the ones that he won them pretty big.
No.
10-6. So pretty good. There was a DQ in there somewhere. So
Somewhere or other.
yeah, well, he probably played Odefen at some point.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
That was the gift that kept on giving for anybody.
Wish
who,
I was a 2 seed.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here
Right.
comes Santa Claus.
What a beautiful voice.
Aw, thanks.
So that should be it for the.
That's a wrap on that, boys and girls. I mean, congrats to you all who have
D-Lineman,
made
Vegan Zombie, and AO.
the top 3. Hockey boys, you were so close. You had the same amount.
Gemini!
Oh.
Gemini spotted! Sorry.
Hockey boys, you were so close with the same amount of points as the second and third place, but unfortunately your win rate was below them. But you fought a good fight. We'll see you this week in the playoffs, right? Speaking of which, if we're done here, let's take a look at that stuff, huh? What do you think?
What are we thinking about? What, the playoffs? You want to talk about playoffs?
Yeah, why not?
Playoffs?
Now,
All right.
I pulled up the matches. I pulled up what classes are submitted so far at the moment. There might be something new that's come in since the show started, but there's also a result that's in. But I took that off the graphic just for the sake of wanting to take a look at what the playoffs are, just for before going into this week. Maybe you guys can, based on your experience, can figure out where you think this is gonna go.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So-
Salt, you want to take this first?
Yeah, sure. So we have Explosive Sheep against Enthalpy. I played D-Lineman. I played Dire Spare. I lost to both of them. Bear is not bringing Priest, so he's not going to win this week. It looks like, I mean, we only have limited class selections so far until the rest of them come in, but it looks like the playoff teams have kind of figured out a formula as far as what classes they should be bringing.
Yeah.
Druid, Hunter, Shaman, Warrior looks like the way that people are starting to go, definitely, at least this week anyway. And with D-Lineman and Dire Spare playing the same classes as well, this is probably going to be, misplays will be a factor, some skills. I would give that match to D-Lineman.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The Anarchist is pretty hot. I mean, so I would give him the win.
Whoa.
And
So just right there, you're saying Enthalpy takes this over Explosive Sheep.
well, there can't be. Is there any way to get? Let's see.
No, if 2 people win, then the series is over.
Okay, I would pick Bitbeaker to beat Jim Philos as well. So 2-1, so 8 to whatever.
Yeah. So you're calling Enthalpy over the number 1 Explosive Sheep.
I don't know. Lemur, you got faith in the zombie?
Bold prediction. I always have faith in the zombie. It's not even a question you're going to ask me. Vegan Zombie is going to tear up the Anarchist. And I love the Anarchist. The Anarchist is a great guy. One of my personal HOTS friends. No. Vegan Zombie's taking this one. Enthalpy's going to lose. D-Lineman's going to win. Vegan Zombie and Bitbeaker are going to win. We're going to see Explosive
Yeah,
Sheep.
I'm gonna hop on that train, Lemur. I'm with you on that one. Salt, we'll agree to disagree here.
I did pick Old Gods to win last week. I don't blame any of you for not sticking with me here. But I got faith in D Lyman's over there getting the rest of the team ready this week. I think they'll do good.
I think you overestimate how much D Lyman plays Hearthstone.
I see him in there sometimes. You should be on Hearthstone more. You might see him too.
Yeah, maybe. That's a fair point.
You're very busy.
He just got you on your own point.
Yep.
Yeah, you too, Nate.
Understandable.
You too, Nate.
I'm never on, man. I got it. Dude, once the expansion comes out, you're gonna see me everywhere. At rank 20, at rank 20 playing Priest.
The second match is our favorites, Kawasaki Ninja's Rule against the Defias Henchmen. I will attempt to ignore the result that I see.
Wait, whoa. Are we attempting to ignore it, or are we acknowledging it?
It's not on the graphic up. So I mean, just looking at the players, I guess Yeah,
we're coming from the perspective as once we learned the playoffs, how did you think it was going to pan out?
Okay, gotcha.
I would probably I played both of these 1 seeds as well. I want to say I lost No, I won that one this week, and I think I also beat Joe. This is a tough one. I think you got to pick Merc and Pi, right? I mean, but AO is so hot, so
yeah.
Number 1 seed right there, AO.
And he's actually made up the most. His PR started really low.
Really low. Mm-hmm.
So he's come a long way. I think it's still Merc and Pi gets it. And I think Joe Hearthstone is going to edge one out over Delcaver. So I would... So it would hinge, right?
All right. I think... I think that Joe Hearthstone's going to beat Delcaver. I think that is going to happen. Yeah. I think that Hockey Boys beats Clobbered just based on PR.
Right.
And I'm going to say I don't know about the 3 seed. Merc and Pi and AO are both really good. AO, I think, is on his hot streak and will not get off his hot streak for this foreseeable future. But Merc and Pi is looking to dethrone him from that. So I don't know. I think that one's up in the air. I think either of them could take it. I am going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's AO. AO's going to win this week. He's going to beat Merc and Pi.
Because it
Propel
rhymes.
Defias Henchmen, exactly. Propel Defias Henchmen into the finals, and they are going to meet Explosive Sheep there.
I like the Henchman pick. I go with that. Although I think they'll play Enthalpy, and Enthalpy will get some sort of championship this season under the Entropy banner.
I forget which result here is in, but if I'm looking at this real quickly, I just felt Delcaver, Hockey Boys, AO taking the wins. Mm-hmm. Just because of what I heard from AO when he faced us in THL. Hockey Boys is very favored with his PR against Clobbered. He's also been having a great season.
He also
ending 4th, and he's the result that came in.
Yeah,
and he won. All right.
Yes, he also did
nicely done.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think we're gonna see the Defias Henchmen move forward.
All right.
Yeah, Lemur, I'm with you on both ends.
All right.
Sounds good. Salt's the only one voting Enthalpy in.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good.
Completely fine.
It's good.
It's not a bad thing whatsoever.
When Salt shows us up, which is possible.
I'm going to get my pick back. Yeah, I'm going to get my pick back this time.
Cool. Well, can't wait to see how this pans out. A lot of class submissions left to come in, but, you guys got a little over 24 hours to do so.
Yeah, you got a while.
Yeah, you got some time.
Just submit them.
Get them in. Don't miss this. But congrats to you, Hockey Boys. Hopefully you guys pull through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now
we
can take a look at some fun stuff. What do you guys think?
Stuff. All right, I'm down. I'm
So
so ready, so prepared.
that's incorrect. Incorrect tab.
Wait a minute. It's
Incorrect
after the
tab.
salt settles and we have something incorrect on our stream? What?
There we go. It was showing a tab that I X'd out as soon as the intro music was over, and it just still had the intro.
BRM menu background music.
I know. That was X'd out so long ago. Anyway, um, we have a
Oh, that's so much data.
We have a lot of data. You are now looking at Eridan's massive dump, as he likes to call it.
Oh my gosh.
Due to site error, class data for week 4 is not counted. That's correct. When we get there, we'll mention that. But as you can see, Eridan put together a sheet here with all of the players, which team they belong to, their seeds, their PR, and how things have adjusted over the course of the season, win-loss percentage, DQ wins-loss, points scored, etc. But where it gets more interesting, in my opinion, the most interesting thing that he put together here that I love looking at is on the bottom here. You're going to see week 1. Here's all of the classes that were picked. Here's what was banned. And here's the results. Now, 7-7 on Druid, it doesn't mean that 14 Druid games were played, 7 were won, 7 were lost. It means, of the 14 people who brought Druid and had the potential to play it,
7 of them won with it.
Correct.
Okay.
And this is identical to how Raging Rhino did this for us last week with THL.
Yep.
And it's really just to give you a perspective of, if I bring this lineup, what type of result could I expect? And we're going to see some interesting numbers.
Sure.
You're going to see, obviously, 2 of the most popular classes, 2 of the top 4 most popular classes in Druid and Hunter week 1. Druid 50%, Hunter 40%. I would imagine that Hunter's going to go up across as weeks go by. Mage and Paladin, not so much success. But Priest, what? Nobody brought
Priest
Rogue.
is a good class. I don't know what you're talking
about. Nobody brought Rogue. And of course...
That's also pretty interesting. No one brought Rogue.
Yeah. Of course, we see Shaman having a lot of success of the few games that it was played. Warlock 2 doesn't surprise me. And Warrior actually, being 6 and 7 for those who brought it, that's interesting to me, given how good Warrior was, especially at the time. Given how less successful Hunter was.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that really interesting. And then you could see how things evolve as the weeks pass. Looking into week 2, one less person is bringing Druid, the same amount of people are bringing Mage. Paladin takes a huge drop.
Yep.
Priest drops by 1/3. Meaning
Yeah.
it goes...
1/3! Whoa!
Rogue takes its first appearance in week 2. Shaman and Warlock take a little drop while one more person brings Warrior. But, you could see the bans are the same. Probably the same 11 people banning Shaman again. Same amount for Druid and Hunter and Mage. It's like the same people expecting the same things. The only one difference was one Warrior ban. One Warlock ban moved over to the Warrior. And then something else happened over here, but...
Maybe the tempo mages lined up against the traditional zoos that week, which is why Warlock went from 60% to 38%.
Right.
And then Mage went from 25 to 75.
Gotta be that, right?
It could be.
Because that's a pretty large drop to just occur out of nowhere.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they might have got the matchups that they were looking for that week, and tech for it, and got good results. So,
You see a 12% decrease from Druid from that week,
Yep.
and after that, you'll see a big decrease for less people bringing Druid and less people afraid of it. As it drops down to 9 picks and 0 bans in week 3. Now, this could be aligned with the nerf of Yogg, or it could be aligned with, how difficult that deck could be to pilot. Who knows?
Yep. Yep.
But, yep, as we see, Hunter's taking its rise.
Yep.
In its win
71%
percentage.
that week. Yep.
Mage evened out a little bit. Paladin finally broke 50%, but Priest makes its second 100% appearance.
Yeah,
That's-
Priest.
1-0.
So good.
Rogue won its game as well, and Shaman, of the 4 players who were able to play it that week, did not bring in wins for the series.
Rather unfortunate.
It's crazy.
71%, 67%, 0%.
Yep.
That is interesting. I would have loved to have known a little bit more from the players of what happened this week, because that's quite unusual. 71%.
It is kind of unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. On the Warlock, and Warrior still looking for 50% after 3 weeks. As we come into the 4th week, unfortunately, there was data that didn't make its way to the main spreadsheet with some bans and etc. So we're gonna have a gap here.
Yep. Unfortunately.
But as
Happens sometimes.
as we move forward, Druid found. Well, actually, it dropped even more to 7. No, D2. Okay, good. I thought I was missing something in chat. But yeah, you guys get the point here, right? I don't have to read every single thing here, but is there anything here that you guys think stands out in trends or patterns or just some interesting information?
So,
Just throughout the season, all the way to the end, yeah.
Yeah. Or you know what? I guess maybe it's best to look at the final compiled data then.
Yeah, let's go to the end, and then we can look at that a little bit better.
Yeah. So we're looking at Shaman and Warrior by 1 point, sharing, most brought.
Yep. Warlock just sub 50% win rate on the season. Warrior ended up at 51%. Rogue at 50%. Priest had the best win percentage in the league.
Crazy.
Of course, it was only
Yes,
brought,
yeah.
X amount of times, but
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah, it did have the... Never mind. I was reading the wrong thing. It does have the highest win percentage. Let's go!
I mean, according to the data, it's much better than. I mean, that and Paladin was brought. I mean, close to the same amount of times.
Yeah.
No, the same amount of times. But Priest
Best
Priest caught 2 bans because it was so good, and
Yep.
Paladin just got beat on a little bit.
Best class confirmed.
Yeah, man. At least in SHL this season. Any surprises? Let's see. Druid at 44%. I guess that's a surprise. I think the deck's much better than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Lemur said, it's not always. We already discussed it a little bit. It's it's not the easiest deck all the time.
Yep.
To make the right decisions, on whether or not to use your Moonfires and such, if you're playing the Malagos version.
It's difficult, for sure.
And it's not always the Malagos version that was brought to SHL. We don't have breakdowns on specific types of...
Like archetypes of classes.
Yeah, of Druid. So... Yeah, I'm surprised. Hunter did really well. I had pretty good success during the season though with Hunter. I think it's really good in the last hero standing.
Hockey Boys. Sorry.
No.
Continue. Hockey Boys brought Shaman all 7 weeks and banned Shaman, and had his Shaman banned all 7 weeks. Pretty interesting.
Wasn't able to play Shaman, but finished pretty. Had a strong finish by the end of the season.
Yeah.
So it shows that he's good with the other decks,
For sure.
So I don't know. I love this kind of stuff. Let's let's see what else he's got on here. He's got everybody's picks throughout the season. You can also see here that, for example, when we take a look at you, Salt, as the first player on the list, Mr. Arthur Rhodes, we could see how many times you picked a class, how many times you banned it from your opponent, and how many times it was banned against you. So if anybody is interested in doing research on players or their own team or, performance over the course of the whole season, they could take a look at this. I don't know if Eridan is willing to make it public now. We usually make these charts public at the end of the season.
I in fact did bring Shaman 7 times, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Did you? Yep.
Yeah, we're missing that. Maybe some of that week 4
Week
data.
4? Yeah.
I see 100% brought by you on here.
Yeah. I want to say I did.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, Shaman 100%.
So.
Druid, Hunter, Shaman, Warrior. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and the other interesting fun fact was that Eamon Wolf and Vegan Zombie brought Priest all 6 weeks. Oh no, all 6 counted weeks. Right. So the one that he was missing data from, he wasn't sure.
Yep.
But there's another tab on here that he wanted us to take a look at. This weekly summary. Whoa, zoom in. What did he have here that we wanted to see? Just
it's like everybody scores for every week across the season instead of just cool. Instead of points, and then we got the playoff teams checked off there at the end.
Points allowed is interesting because, when you have things like divisions, it's important to take a look at points allowed. Defias Henchman was able to make it in because, they performed well in their division by not giving up too much within their division. Holtzcott Squad, we know how that story goes.
103. Wow.
Yeah, Explosive Sheep giving up the least amount of points. It's no surprise they ended where they did, right?
Yeah, I
like this. So
yeah, a lot of
I like it a lot. Thank you, Eridan. This is fantastic.
We like this stuff, but thanks for putting that together.
That's crazy.
We pretty much have covered everything for SHL. Oh wow, and I have the THL logo. Whatever.
Good job, Nate.
Whatever.
Come on.
But one thing before we sign off here, we just saw a bunch of new cards, and just wanted a quick thought process from you guys of what you guys are expecting for next season. Paladin, I know.
Lemur's super hyped for 1-drop Paladin.
So excited. It's just like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I'm gonna cycle everything. I'm so hyped.
I came from Yu-Gi-Oh. I am worried about that. We'll see. Tempo's not really a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's more of pluses and minuses over your opponent, throughout the game. And if you plus more, then you win. And Hearthstone really doesn't work like that.
But see, if I'm gonna +2 off of a 3-mana card, I'm prepared. I'm plussing 2. I'm plussing 4 on stats from the 1/1 2-mana. I'm so pumped.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how it goes. I have high hopes that the new cards will see a lot of play. But like we were talking about earlier, the Shaman still just looks too strong, and they haven't even shown any of the cards for Shaman from the new set, which makes me kind of worried. I mean, yes, we did talk. Priest looks like it might match up well against the Shaman, but we'll see how that goes. I don't want to think too highly of Priest yet, considering where it's been for so long, and I'll always say
you just don't know yet.
Well, if it's the best deck, I suspect that people will be way more upset about Priest being the best deck than a
Shaman.
Shaman or anything else, because Priest, it's so frustrating as it is a lot of times. And then if it's the best deck and you have to go through that,
All the time.
30% plus on ladder like we're dealing with Shaman right now, I think people will get fed up with it quick. So, but, I think it'll be tier 2 at least. We'll see.
I just came up with the comparison that I was looking for. One drop Paladin is just like Burning Abyss from Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to plus off of everything. It doesn't even matter what happens or what you do. I'm just going to plus off of everything and win the game.
All of your cards float? Yeah.
All of my cards float.
Yeah.
They literally float now because of the Kodo, the retreating Kodo.
Yeah.
I love that card. I think
if you're not familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Nade, floaters are cards that replace themselves when they die. So I mean, it death rattle for is basically is floaters. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! It gets way more ridiculous with the effects.
+7 off of my effects.
Right. Yeah. When I draw a couple of cards and then fill my board up. So yeah, it's a lot more obscene in other games. So I'm definitely excited.
So it's supposed to drop early December, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if this season will be coming to a conclusion by the end of next week, typically we have about a month to a month and a half off season break until the next season starts, but that's also going to be right around when the holidays start, so I'll have to talk with the board to see when season 5 is going to start and when season 2 for SHL is going to start, especially since we'll be all excited with a ton of new decks. Additionally, maybe some new decks. To be honest, I'm most hyped about Warlock based on what we've seen. Nothing.
Really?
Just kidding.
Okay.
Yes, we haven't seen anything.
What are you talking about?
No.
We haven't seen anything.
But Salt brought up a really good point that it's likely next season, maybe around playoff time, is when the adventure is going to be released, right?
Expansion.
It will be another expansion.
Oh, it'll go into another expansion.
Yep.
So that'll rotate out.
Yep.
Some friends of ours like Reno, right?
Reno, Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem, etc.
Reno rotates out. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the new legendary that just got released.
Oh, he's so cool.
Right.
He's super cool, but he's made for Reno, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe now he's made for Malcazar. Well, no, Malcazar's made... no, that's a bad comparison, but...
Yeah, we got Emperor rotating out. Quick Shot leaves for Hunter, which I think will be...
That's pretty big.
It is pretty big. So a lot of cards rotate out, but, my thing was how it ought to be real interesting how the how set rotation will potentially line up.
Yeah.
With the when the playoffs should start, if we take the normal 4 to 6 weeks off after the season and then start up, and then we get somewhere around a mid-January or so expansion, and playoffs start, and then rotation hits as the playoffs start. So,
lots is gonna be going on. That's for sure.
It'll be a great season, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so too, for sure.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, it's cool to hear your guys' perspectives on that. There's so much more cards to be released that our current perspective couldn't change entirely after we see what else is out there.
Oh yeah.
So we need a little bit more time. But Lemur, was good to have you back, man.
Thank you. Good to be back. Definitely.
I know it's a busy week for you, and Salt. I know you have your team practice.
Yes.
Coming up, so we can get you guys out of here.
All right.
Any last words from any of y'all?
No, just good luck to all of the remaining SHL teams, and and also in THL this week as well.
Definitely.
That reminds me, A-Roy did request from us to predict how his series ends, which is
100%.
happening right now.
Rio A-Roy. He's going to take it home. Let's go, baby. Transformation MVP.
We can do this real quick. Yeah, sure. 3-1 Slimsh.
Oh. Woo.
I'm sorry. I do like that A-Roy climbed from 4 to 1. It's really great, but Slimsh he's Slimsh. So I just based on Slimsh being Slimsh, I think he wins 3-1. And A-Roy did bring Priest, right?
He sure did.
And
I'm sorry. The best class in the game. Did you look at those statistics?
This is an SHL though. I don't have the stats for Priest in
if there are any in THS,
our conquest. Yeah, our conquest format. But I'm gonna bet it's not as good.
Yeah.
So that pretty much hinged my on who I think will win. But A-Roy does tech his decks heavily, so we got Arcano Smith tech some weeks, and he's not afraid to throw weird stuff, Secret Eaters probably, and all that good stuff in his deck if it warrants it. So yeah,
I'm excited.
I wish it would have got streamed, but I understand.
We have a 3-0 in favor of A-Roy from Lemur. We have a 3-1 in favor of Slinch from Knackle. That was actually going to be my prediction, so because you said that, I'm going to say 3-2 A-Roy, just to change it up. And we'll see what happens. And I base that on nothing. So there's the opinion of the professionals.
They already played.
They played?
They played.
The results in?
Results in.
Who won?
Wow. Lemur doesn't look happy.
Hold on.
Slim's got him 3-2.
Wow!
Okay, all right.
Super close.
Holy shit.
That's really close, A-Roy.
A-Roy put up a fight. I would love to know what class didn't bring in the W.
I want to know if it was the Priest.
It in fact was the Priest.
Yep.
Confirmed by A-Roy himself.
Yeah. It's tough.
But
it's tough sometimes.
Because Slim brought 2 control decks, apparently.
Right.
Crushed by 2 control decks.
Damn. 3-2 Slimsh. Well, that ends A-Roy's undefeated streak. Now they, I believe, are both sitting at 8-1.
Yep, 0 undefeated players in THL.
Damn. Wow. And the story continues to unfold. Well, good luck to Team Rank 5 and Defias. We'll see where you guys end up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. So I think by the bet, that means Lemur, we probably won't see you on this show anymore, right?
Yep, bye. I myself found.
Oh, we finally got rid of him, though.
Oh.
I hope we have you again next week, which will probably be our last week, right? Oh, no, we still have one additional week. Oh, man. Anyway.
Yeah,
there's no way you have me next week, though. I gotta be Sky Masterson for the entire weekend.
Sky Masterson. Well,
I gotta talk in a New York accent. It's wonderful.
That sounded okay. I'll give you that. I mean, I'm from New York, and I didn't run into a lot of people like that. But since I like you, I'll say you're doing a great job.
Well, okay, it's gangster 1945 New York.
Oh,
so it's really, yeah.
You did a great job. I'm gonna come to wherever you are and come watch and heckle you in the crowd.
Oh, you will heckle me, especially because I have 7 days to learn like 200 and something lines.
I'll just be playing Hearthstone in the crowd the whole time. But we got to get out of here. Lemur, thanks again. Knackle, thanks as always. THL, SHL, have a good night. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye.